Hello everyone and welcome back. In today's episode we're going to be checking in on our seedlings in the small greenhouse. We're going to be seeing how the competition peppers are doing. We're also going to be building a hydroponic flood table for the big greenhouse that we're in right now using some pallets and some other scraps, and I'll show you all that right after this. Let's go have a look inside the small greenhouse and see how our seedlings are doing. So the first thing you'll notice is, of course, those things are just getting huge. So I don't think that's entirely just because they are in a hydroponic solution or growing hydroponically. I think it's because they're up there. Now, the reason I say that is because I have a small fan heater down there, and that's obviously heating up this small greenhouse. But it's always going to be a little bit warmer up here than it is down here. I've been monitoring the temperature down there and up there. If those are 20 degrees, then up there is about 25 to 30 degrees. I think that the heat in the soil makes a hell of a difference. So you can see obviously these things aren't exactly as big as the hydroponics ones. And over that side as well, we haven't got some massive plants, but what I'm going to do, I think it's partially because I have these trays directly on the floor, and I'm going to insulate them a bit. I'm going to stick some cardboard underneath, and I might even use some of my heat mats underneath as well, and we'll see if that makes a difference, and we'll keep an eye on that. Let's take a look at our competition peppers. I still haven't got any spaghetti peppers that have germinated, but we have got our poblano. So this is the one that's in soil. It's not exactly huge right now, but he's looking healthy. It's still got time, got plenty of time in the season. And if we look up here, I believe it's A3, so it's that one back there. It's this plant here. He's looking fantastic. So both poblanos have germinated for me, and the hydroponics one is doing a bit better than the other one, just like I said, probably because of the soil temperatures, but we'll sort that out. A little birdie tells me that Tony from UK Here We Grow is having a few issues germinating his peppers. So Tony, if you need a hand, I have a full series on how to grow peppers for the beginner. So check it out. I'm sure there'll be some tips there for you. I obviously can't keep my seedlings inside that hydroponic system from IKEA because they just won't get as big as I'd like them to get. So we need to do something to be able to put them in a proper hydroponic system. So I've been planning this for a little while, and I've been getting some expert advice from Yuka from fataliseeds.net. He has had some amazing results with the system I'm going to be building today. So let's get to building, and I'll come back to you right after this to explain a little bit about how this is going to work. So let's take a look at the finished product and I'll let you know how it's all going to work. So there is the finished hydroponics flood table. It'll make a lot more sense when I actually fill this up with water and the grow medium and get the plants in here. But let me explain the basics of how this is going to work. Over here, this is where the pump is going to be pumping water up to fill up the bed over here, so the flood system. And the drain system is going to be back through exactly the same hole. So basically when the pump turns off, it's going to gravity feed back down the hole and it'll empty out the bed. Now this over here is just an overflow pipe, so if this is just a little bit below the top of the system over here, but if the water gets above this, it's going to drain out over there. And this is going to be filled up with some expanded clay pebbles to about there. We'll get those in there in a little while. The things that I learned here, and if you're going to build this for yourself, ideally, obviously, it would be nice to have a nice plastic trough here, or even an animal feed trough would probably work. But I decided to try and make use of some old pallets that I had lying around. I managed to get this plastic quite cheap. This is very, very thick plastic, and basically I've doubled it up. And I wasn't going to double it up originally, but one of the layers had a little hole in it. Not my fault, unfortunately. It's just the way it came. I did fill some silicone into that hole, but I thought a second sheet wouldn't go amiss anyway. I'm hoping this will do 2 seasons at least. Obviously, if I enjoy the hydroponics way of growing, if I'm getting the results that everyone says I'm going to get. If I do that though, I'll probably be rebuilding these things. These tables over here, obviously this is where my plants go at the moment when I do a normal soil grow, and I'll have to adapt them to work with this sort of design. One thing to point out when you are laying plastic, if you are going to do it this way, make sure there's a lot of give, because what happens here is stapling it onto the edge here, you obviously want to try and get this tight, but that's not really the best way to do this. You want a lot of play, a lot of give, because when the water comes in here, it's going to push down and it might tighten up too much, especially if, like when I first started this, I didn't leave enough give on the one side, so when I got to the other side, it was too tight, and when the water filled up here, it would have put a lot of strain on the staples themselves. So that's the flood table I'm going to be using this year. I will be testing it out properly, probably for the next video. Right now I've put some silicone around some of the fittings here, so I want that to set before I fill it up with water. So that'll need about 24 hours to dry and properly set. And in the next video we'll be able to show you how this all actually works. Something to look out for in a future video is an automation device that I've built for this flood table. It's pretty cool. I've been programming it over the last few weeks. It's got some pretty cool features, and it'll make life a lot easier when automating this entire system. So look out for a video on that in the near future. Until then though, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again very soon. Bye bye for now.
Old man, they're coming after you. Old man, best go